asked to justify the use of the binomial distribution, you can use the acronym FIST. If we look at an example of rolling a dice 6 times and getting a 3 a certain number of times, we have a fixed number of trials. So that's what the F stands for. Just writing a fixed number of trials isn't enough, you need to put it into context. So you need to say something along the lines of, I roll the dice 6 times. Each of those dice rolls is also independent. In other words, the result from each roll is independent from the other rolls. Now the probability is always the same. In other words, the probability of getting a 3 is always 1 out of 6. And there are 2 outcomes. We can either have a 3 or we can not have a 3. So remember, when you're writing these, you must write them in context. If you don't put in the context, it won't be worth any marks. Sometimes we don't have enough information to prove that all of these characteristics are true. So in those cases, we need to assume that they are in order to be able to use the binomial distribution. There are some cases, however, when that assumption isn't necessarily particularly good. For example, if I've got a machine that is constantly getting worse every time it's used when manufacturing components, then the probability isn't going to be the same of the component being faulty. So when you're writing about these assumptions, you do need to think about them and whether or not they do apply in the particular context that your question is about.